Hey guys, welcome to week 8 of the NFL Picks Against the Spread. Last week, week 7, bit of a down week for us. Went 1-2, so a losing week last week. A tough one. We got the Miami game right, plus 2.5 against Atlanta. They ended up losing late by 2 points, but we got the cover there. The one that really stung was the Washington Green Bay game. We had Washington plus 9. And I don't even think Washington punted in the game. They were inside the Green Bay's 25-yard line, I think five or six times in the game, and came away with really like 0 points. They had some turnovers on downs, goal line stops. It was just, they had more red zone opportunities and punts. I don't actually think that they punted in the football game. They moved the ball up and down the field on Green Bay. Green Bay's red zone defense was dead last in the NFL. They hadn't had one stop in the red zone all season, and all the Packers did was stop Washington. But Washington really did beat themselves in that game. Heineke had the QB sneak and somehow fell down, and they said that he gave himself up. I'm not going to go into this. It was just a silly rule. I understand quarterbacks giving themselves up, but common sense has to come into play at some point. Like if a quarterback gives himself up when the defender's there, I get it. There was no one around Heineke. I don't even know why he did that. He could have just walked in. He fell at like the 1-inch line and then rolled in, and they said he gave himself up. But what a stupid rule. It was kind of like a couple years ago in the playoffs. I think it was Buffalo and Houston, and it was a second half kickoff to Houston, and the defender caught the ball and didn't kneel it. He just started to walk and threw the ball to the referee, and the referee got out of the way because it's a live ball. And then after further review, they said, no, he gave himself up, so it was a touchback. And common sense has to come into play, but Jesus, Green Bay gets these calls, whatever. So, that one hurt. And then the Houston one, we weren't even close. We took Houston plus 18. Geez, they're garbage and didn't even show up. They scored 5 points. So whatever, 1-2 week, so 16-9 on the season. Looking to turn the page here to week number 8. Guys, like, subscribe, comment on the video. Let's get into this one. So I've said it many times before. You have to avoid, you bet numbers, you don't bet teams, but at the same time, you have to avoid betting dumpster fires. Houston was a dumpster fire, and we got in the way of Green Bay, I guess, at Lambeau. So trying to avoid these really, really bad teams. There were some teams I was looking at this week, I'm like, I feel like taking these guys, but I'm like, okay, just too bad. Like, they're just too bad. They have to prove to themselves they can win a football game, or at least compete every week. So let's get into this week's slate of games. I got 3 more picks for you guys. Have other leans. I do lean New England this week at plus whatever you can get, plus 4.5, plus 5, kind of dead numbers there. So I do lean the Patriots away. Indianapolis, I do lean Indy this week as well. These are not games that I haven't bet any of these games, full disclosure. So I can't say that it's going to be a play of mine, but I do lean Indy this week. I do lean New England. I lean Jacksonville at plus 3.5, believe it or not, against Seattle. So, but I have 3 other ones that I do like. First one, this is an ugly one, and that's the Detroit Lions. Detroit's one team I don't think I've ever picked or picked against. They're just games that I don't necessarily, purposely avoid them, but they're just, they never really appeal to me. But I am going with the Lions this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lions are plus 3.5. I was able to get a 3.5. This line might come down to 3. But I like the Lions. I think, they can win this game. Listen, they're 0-7, but they're 4-3 against the spread. The Lions do stick around in games. The Eagles, have 2 wins on the year, both on the road, but they haven't beaten anyone really impressive. I think they beat Atlanta first week of the season, and whatever, it was week 1, but they haven't done anything. They're poorly coached. They don't have a great defense. Jalen Hurts is not playing well. The Lions at least fight every single week. The only thing that worries me a little bit is, this team hasn't won, and they have to they have to get that first win, just to get it out of the way. And sometimes these losses can accumulate mentally with these guys that they just can't get it done. They pulled off all the tricks last week and still came up short. Mind you, they were a big double-digit dog to the Rams. but they hung tough, and there were a couple. They could easily have 2 wins this year. They lost, last second field goals a couple of times to the Vikings and then Baltimore as well this season. But the Lions are in every game. You're getting 3 in the hook at home, a team that I believe will be heading into a bye the week after. This is one I feel like the Lions can get. Philadelphia, I don't know. This is they've lost some against some good teams. This is a class down with the Lions. The Lions are not a good team. Maybe Philadelphia can take advantage, but I'm not laying 3.5 points on the road with Philly. Give me the Lions plus 3.5. Sprinkle some on the money line. Lions can get their first win of the season. Game number 2, big NFC South matchup. Tampa Bay and New Orleans. Tampa Bay is laying 6 points here. I like New Orleans plus 6. The Bucks beat the Saints all 3 meetings last year, twice in the regular season. They beat them in New Orleans in the playoffs. They've had the Saints number since Brady's been with the Bucks. But listen, New Orleans here offensively, they're not a great team. Tampa Bay is the best team arguably in the league. They're rolling on offense right now. They look great, but at the same time, New Orleans has a good defense, and if I'm getting a home team, catching points, getting 6 points in a divisional matchup with the better defense, I'll take that. New Orleans is a good team to bet when they're a dog. Sean Payton, with his time with the Saints, is 6-1-1 at home as a dog. Not a huge sample size, and I know a lot of that was with Drew Brees. Maybe when Drew Brees was injured, because if he's playing, they're not usually a home dog. But the Saints do well as a dog because of this defense. If you're laying points with them, maybe not. But this is a spot here where the Saints, they're a top 5. On defense, I think they can hold Tampa Bay. They're going to need to score some points because they're not going to be able to hold Tom Brady and this offense down for 60 minutes. But if they can just give their offense some opportunities, I think the Saints, they can move the ball a little bit against this Bucs defense, especially through the air. The Bucs are pretty good against the run, but if they can spread it out, get the ball through the air, maybe they can get some points. I like New Orleans here at plus the 6. It's not a super comfortable game. Tampa Bay looks good. It's not a team I would necessarily want to get in front of. But Brady's 0-3 on the road ATS, so they haven't been covering on the road. And New Orleans, again, as a home dog, I think this is a good pick. I like New Orleans plus 6. Everyone's going to be, I think, on Tampa Bay. This line might go up, maybe a little bit more, but I feel like I got a good number. If this line maybe can go to 6.5. I don't think it gets to 7, but give me the Saints plus 6. Last game, this is a primetime game, I believe, this Sunday nighter, Dallas and Minnesota. This line now is Minnesota minus 2.5, and I like Minnesota at minus 2.5. If you can get less than a field goal, I think the Vikings are a good pick here. We don't know what's going on with Dak Prescott. He's a game-time decision right now. Either way, it's not going to be 100%. Both teams coming off buys here. Minnesota coming off a big, I think, overtime win 2 weeks ago in Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Dallas, I think, had the overtime win as well in New England a couple weeks ago. Cowboys, listen, they're 6-0 this year against the spread. At some point, they got to lose. They've been rolling. And this game for me, similar to the New Orleans one, I'm getting the home team with a better defense. Dallas, yes, they are offensively tops in pretty much every category. They're number 1 rush offense. They can move the ball. They have all these weapons at receiver. Defensively, though, aside from Diggs, they are a suspect on defense. Minnesota does have a much better defense. I think they can, without a healthy Dak, I don't think it matters. If he's not healthy, I think he's going to struggle. And if the backup's in, even better. I think Minnesota defensively will do enough in this game, and I don't think the Cowboys on defense can do enough to stop this Minnesota offense. I think Kirk, hopefully in a primetime game, can step up with Thielen and Jefferson, Dalvin Cook and these guys. I think the Vikings at a short home favorites at minus 2.5 is a good pick. So give me the Lions plus 3.5, the Saints +6 and the Vikings -2.5. Those are my 3 picks, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. Might do some, have a couple of buddies coming over tomorrow. Last time we got together, we did a fun ticket. We went 6-0. Maybe we'll do some fun ones tomorrow, some props, whatever. But these are the 3 that I've bet so far. Have a good one, guys. Good luck in week 8.